So this is my new camera, and I got it for a great price, open box price, at the local Best Buy. It's the Samsung WB850F. So there's lots of things that I like about this thing, and there's a couple things I don't quite like about it, but I'll just talk about it a little bit here. So first of all, the aesthetics of it and the build quality, I love it. The color is sort of a dark purple color, which it looks black in a lot of lights, and it's I believe aluminum around the front, and then there's a grip that is a nice rubber texture, and it's a nice big grip, so it's fantastic. The grip is so nice to hold, and the whole thing is a really good size and weight. It has a solid weighty feel to it, so it's great to hold. The screen at the back is an AMOLED screen, so it looks really pretty, 3-inch, and as far as the resolution of it, the Samsung.com site says 921,000 dots, but the Samsung.ca site and some of the review sites like photographyblog.com say 641, I think. So I imagine it's probably 641, but either way it looks gorgeous. It's really pretty screen, and I love it a lot. At the top there's a blue ring that you get when it's on, and that's pretty, but at the top there's also it's a metallic sparkle finish. The plastic is top, apparently that's because of the GPS signal, but there's a metallic sort of chips in it, and they're not just silver chips, they're actually multicolored chips. So the top has a multicolored rainbow sparkle look, but it's very subtle. You don't see it in most cases. You only see it when there's certain types of light. So it's very subtle. You see there's stereo microphones at the top there, and the other thing I really like about it is the flash. When you have the flash on automatic, it only performs automatic when you have it up, but when you push it down, it turns the flash off. So I've had another camera in the past that had a pop-up flash, but if the flash was set to automatic, it would pop it up automatically when it wanted to use it. But that's not the case here. It will automatically use it when it's up, and then when you press it down, it'll turn it off, which I really like, because I rarely use flash personally, and I don't like the flash popping up when it's set to auto. So the screen's great. The buttons at the back are good. Most cameras have that I've worked with in the past have a dedicated macro button and an exposure button here, or a mode that will bring you into exposure and brightness and some other things. But this one has a GPS button here and a couple other things, because when you where the macro is here. There's a menu when you're in actual program mode. There's a menu, you press the function button, and then you get this pop-up that has all the different stuff you can change, and you can, when you hover, you can click OK and go one step further into the menu to change it, or you can just press the zoom in or out to actually change it just while you're in the menu without going any deeper in. So that's good. It's not too bad. You can change it to macro there pretty easily, but Canons and some other cameras have a macro button here that you just push, so that's a little bit better, I'd say. But it is pretty good at, when it's on auto mode, you just put it up next to something with the autofocus on auto normal, and it will usually take it sharp unless it's really close. So video, it has 1080p, 30 frames per second, and from what I've noticed, it's around 15 megabits per second bit rate. Now that's lower than the Canon S100 that I'm using right now. That one usually does 35, but the one upside of the 15 is that's low enough that I can, if I take a clip that I want to just upload straight away and not edit, I can just throw that straight on YouTube and upload it, whereas 35 was starting to get a little bit large for doing that, and when you do a longer video at 35 with the Canon, it does get quite large in file size as well. So features it has a ton of you know, features that I might not use. It has GPS, which is something I would use when I'm on you know, doing traveling or, you know, any kind of stuff, even not traveling. I haven't actually tried it yet. It's got 21 times zoom, which is pretty good, although image quality does tend to suffer a bit when you try to do such a high zoom on little cameras like this. But image quality is totally alright. It's definitely not terrible or anything. I would have liked it to be a little bit better, but honestly, for the price I got it, definitely can't complain. It's got Wi-Fi, and it's a 23 millimeter lens, and it goes 21 times zoom. It's got a whole bunch of stuff that I probably wouldn't use, but it doesn't hurt. It's got remote viewfinder, so you can use like a tablet to do viewfinder, smartphone link, photo shared instantly, dual capture mode, so you can do capture full HD 1080p and photos simultaneously. It doesn't have raw photos though. It's got intuitive photo editing software, which is it's got a bunch of filters that you can use for the photos. It's got you know, face stuff, live panorama, magic frame, a lot of stuff that I wouldn't personally use, just because I generally just take photos and I don't edit them and I don't do anything with them. But it has a bunch of effects and you know, face capture stuff and all that stuff. It has dual image stabilization, so optical and digital, I believe, which is quite good. It's as far as taking photos at night and stuff, I found it to be pretty good, although when the ISO is turned up, it does start to get a little bit processed looking, which is fairly normal, but this is a little higher than some of the other cameras I've used, in a sort of roughly but slightly higher price range. And but I have also noticed that it can also do 100 ISO shots at night, as long as the light's not too bad, and then it's quite sharp at 100, although again not quite as sharp at 100 as some other cameras in the similar price range at 100 ISO. So overall, the thing is really pretty in my opinion. The build quality is really good, so I like it quite a lot. I think it's really nice to use. I've been using it for a week or so, and there's a bunch of photos up that I've taken, so you can look on Flickr if you want to do see full size, full resolution images. You can see the original resolution on there, so check my Flickr if you want to see. And you can also see on my blog, there's a bunch of photos I've taken with this over the last couple weeks. And then on YouTube, the clip on the highway from Sunday, that was taken with this. And there's also one called Samsung WB850 sample clip. That's one I took in the car at night on the way home from Future Shop, actually, where I bought this. So there's a couple sample clips, and I will be doing more videos with this in the future. If you like, I'm not gonna, the feature wise, I sort of skimmed it, but if you obviously just go to Samsung.com or whatever, Google it if you want to see all the features. There's a newer model out now that's replaced it. I think it's actually the 800F, and that one has a touchscreen. I looked at that, but honestly, touchscreen is not something that I'm interested in with a camera. And also, that one wasn't actually discounted, so I wasn't really going to be paying full price for a Samsung. If I was going to pay full price, I would get the Sony HX30V, I believe, or something along those lines. But for this, I got it at a good price, so I'm pleased. So overall, very pleased with this, and this is what I will be using as my sort of daily pocket camera for the future.